everybody can hear me okay. I didn't hook up a microphone or anything. It seems like it's a small enough room. Hopefully everybody can hear. I want to thank you all for coming today. This is a wonderful turnout. We're really excited about this event, hosting local authors and allowing the people in our community to get to know our friends and neighbors who are published authors. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I want to thank the AUW and the Friends of the Madera County Library for putting this event on, and the food and all of the wonderful things that they brought to get this going. So in a few minutes, we're going to start with each author. Each author will be able to come up and speak for 5 minutes about their book, one of their books, or they can talk about the writing process, or they could do a reading, whatever they like, but they have 5 minutes. And we are going to be filming it so that we have it preserved for all time's sake. Each author, I think that's going to be something really special to keep at the library. And somebody mentioned putting it on YouTube or something like that. Maybe, if we can, we might do something like that where make it available to everybody. But we certainly want to preserve it for our local history, because we think that's really important. So we had one person who requested to speak first, and that's our sheriff, John Anderson. He's going to come up and talk first, and then we're going to go around the room in order. This way.
I just did not want to be close to Bill Coates' speech.
And then when everybody's done talking, then everybody can go around again and look at all the books and the tables and speak with the authors. And of course, we have refreshments, and you're welcome to stay as long as you like. So,
Ellen, thank you very much, and I want to thank you for having this thing. I think it's great for the local authors and all of the folks here that may want to find out about the local authors and their books. And I want to thank Lena for being head of the Writers Association in Central Valley. Right. So, anyhow, I'm John Anderson, and I wrote a book about 15 years ago. I was a highway patrolman for 35 years, and in the history of the Highway Patrol, we've had some 260 officers killed. We were formed in 1929. And most of them, the majority is probably through traffic. That's because of our exposure. And, you know, sometimes if it's too foggy, you choose not to go out there. If it's too rainy or too snowy or something like that, where when you're on the highway patrol, you go out there no matter the weather, the conditions, or whatever. And so we do have experienced a lot of traffic deaths. Unfortunately, a lot were killed by more violent means. And sometimes those just happen because we've got a deputy sheriff out here, and I'm sure he'll agree with me that when you make a car stop, in the first 10 to 15 seconds, you've got to make up your mind, is this person going to hurt me or not? And your demeanor and your approach is, from then on, is kind of judged by that initial judgment. We make a lot of stops on wanted people. They have what's called BOLs, beyond the lookouts. And in those, your stops are planned, and you do them right so that you maintain the advantage. Back up until 1970, the California Highway Patrol was probably recognized worldwide as the ones that did that the best. The procedures we used, they used to train all over the world on how to stop wanted cars and felons. What we found out on April the 5th, 1970, is we weren't quite as good as we thought we were. There's a place called Newhall, California. How many of you have been to Magic Mountain? The turnoff off of what was then Highway 99, which is now Interstate 5, to Magic Mountain is where the Newhall Incident took place, and that's the name of my book. There had been a report of brandishing of weapons higher up in the mountains that day, and I worked in Newhall for 2 or 3 years when I first went on the highway patrol, and those were common because we had hunters and guns and those kind of things, and a lot of times people would see the guns and they'd report them to the highway patrol. So it was not uncommon to encounter a brandishing call. Unfortunately, the two individuals that were reported as brandishing were both experienced felons. One had been in every federal prison. He killed a person while he was incarcerated in Alcatraz. He was a parolee at large, which means he was on parole in Florida, but he just jumped parole. He had met the other fellow in federal prison, and the other guy lived in Oklahoma, so he jumped parole, he went to Oklahoma, picked up his friend Bobby Davis, and out they came to California. They had a scheme where they were going to knock off over the Santa Anita Raceway. They were going to take an armored car and park it in the on-ramp, so that when the people, they were going to park a car in the on-ramp, when the armored car came out with the proceeds, they were going to go out there and they were going to take explosives, this is how screwy these people are, and blow the truck up. Well, they needed explosives. During this time, they were building Interstate 5 over the ridge route. Where can you get explosives? Where they're doing construction. So they went up there that day to try and steal explosives. And they met the highway patrol that night. There was a little traffic incident, and people, it was before road rage, was probably the predecessor for that. There was words exchanged and gestures and so forth. And then one of the bad guys pulled a gun and said, "You better get out of here." And that's where they reported it to the highway patrol. One of our units made the stop right there at the Magic Mountain turnoff, and there was a shootout. And before they cleared the stop, two other officers came in, and they were involved in the shootout. Those two guys killed 4 highway patrolmen in the space of about 8 minutes that night there, right in it was a standard station, gas station, now there's Chevrons there in that corner. Anyhow, that's what my book's about, and it's the young highway patrolmen. They're local. 2 of them came from Merced area. One of their wives still works out here at the Children's Hospital, the widow. So it's kind of some local flavor. The other 2 were from the Bay Area. They had less than 2 years in the job. The highway patrol took a lot of criticism. Why do you have such rookie cops out there working on such a dangerous highway and those kind of things? Well, those days that's all we had was rookie cops. We doubled the patrol from about 1965 to 1970. So everyone was pretty much a rookie. Anyhow, that's the book, The Newhall Incident. It's in its 3rd printing, I guess. And any questions, I'll be back there for a little while, and you can come and ask me questions after. So again, thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you.